All right, guys, welcome to another edition of the Kendrick Loves to Brand podcast. We are here today with a special guest, Marvin Germo. I've been following Marvin's content for quite some time now, and it's a pleasure to finally have you on the show. Welcome to the show, Marvin.
It's an honor. No, before I begin, shout out to Miko Baranda kasi this is all for you. Thank you for making this also possible, and it's an honor to be able to share my thoughts and my ideas, especially to I don't know where this video is being shot during the lockdown, so I hope it helps people, uh, especially people who want to pivot, innovate, or do something different after all of this is said and done.
Nice. So to get us started, how do you usually introduce yourself, Marvin, to somebody meeting you for the first time who has no clue what you do? And then when they say, "Oh, so what do you do?" What do you say?
Ah, I'm here's what's interesting. I'm not really matitle. Even when people introduce me for talks, they would ask for syempre your profile, etc. I would normally joke na isang hindi gwapo pero may nagmahal. So that's my normal still. But I just say also that I just trade stocks. That's basically it. I'm not a person na I, I don't do this for me to be known. I just do it because I really like it. So whatever happens is just a byproduct of it. So ganun lang. I normally say na uh, hindi gwapo pero may nagmahal or I'm a trade stocks. That's basically it.
All right. So how did you get started with stocks? Like, can you take us back to the very start? Like, was this something that you took up in college, or was this something that you were already interested in, like back when you were a kid? How did this whole journey start for you?
Uh, I graduated as an engineer. So what I'm doing right
Hmm.
now is far from what I took in college. After taking the board exam, I went into IT. That was first 2 weeks in IT. I knew it that I wouldn't be an employee forever. It wasn't something that I saw myself doing for a very long time. So while I was doing that, I was doing businesses. Ngayon, I would always say in my vlog, ngayon medyo social na, it's called the side hustle already. I would do a lot of that. Then as I started doing a lot of that, I didn't spend any of the revenue or the profits. I just rolled it back in until it came to a point na sabi ko, invest ko kaya to. Then I started investing it in mutual funds. Then dumating sa point that I was watching my mutual funds every day. Then I said, since I'm watching my mutual funds every day, why not try the stock market? Then the 2008 crash happened. And yun, I really enjoyed it kasi 2008 crash, sabi ko, the crash is in the States. It's not here. Unlike what's happening right now, the crash is everywhere. The recession is everywhere. Why is Jollibee down? Why is Ayala Land down? Why is URC down? It's a financial crash in the US. There must be an arbitrage here. Then yun. After that, I couldn't stop talking about stocks. I couldn't stop investing in stocks also. So that's what kickstarted it. More than a decade now of
So
investing.
so you took up engineering. Why did you take up engineering in college? Was it something like your parents pushed you to, or you thought you like engineering at that time?
Then napilitan ako pa the school. They wanted me to take engineering. Then they said Mapua because Mapua is an engineering school. Pero most of my friends, I think from my batch, I was the only one who went to Mapua. So parang I was sad pa. Then they bribed me. We'll give you a PlayStation. So alam na yung age natin. We'll give you a PlayStation. Ano ka lang. Tapos if dito ka sa Mapua, we'll give you a higher allowance kesa sa ibang school ka punta. Pero it wasn't something that I really liked or wanted. Pero looking at it now, no, at that time also naman I didn't have a clue on what I wanted. Also, I didn't know na I would be doing this as well. If you'll ask me now, most likely hindi na ako nag-college. I would have gone through. I would have started business. I would have invested early also. So there.
So was there some sort of pushback from them after you graduated, after you work in IT, and then you said, "Look, this is not what I want to do. I want to get into this other industry." Was there a pushback from
Ah,
them?
hindi, kasi while I was doing it, while I was investing and doing business naman,
Hmm.
uh, it was also while I was employed. Eh. So
Okay.
I did not quit quickly. Eh. And I'm a believer in that. Eh. The name of the game is not having one stream of income. The name of the game is having multiple streams of income. So if you quit your job, di sayang, you remove one source eh. And if you're starting, chances are that job might be earning more than whatever extra income you're getting. So if you're young kasi, this is what people don't, when people see videos like this, they get inspired. I'll quit my job, I'll follow my passion, I'll do what I need to do. But what people don't see, when you're young, you have a lot of time eh. Bawasan
Mhm.
mo lang yung Netflix, bawasan mo yung TikTok,
Mhm.
bawasan mo yung mga other things are that take away time from you achieving the goal that you want. So it's not a question whether you have to quit your job. You can retain that job because you also need to develop skills eh.
Mhm.
And iba yung skills na makukuha mo if you're doing it in a multinational company while you're trying to figure out also what business will work for you. So I worked corporate for 5 years pa eh. When I tell people about my journey, this is not something that happened overnight. I've been investing already for a long time. I even when I quit my job, I was living frugally. I barely spent money. I would invest everything back also. And at that point, yung what I was getting extra was more than my salary already. Pero I did not siguro level up my lifestyle. Somehow, na habang lumalaki yung pera, nag-a-adjust ng konti, yung dati, for example, McDonald's example, kakain ka ng crispy chicken fling, ngayon, magna-nuggets ka na, or dati hindi ka nag-Starbucks, Starbucks ka na, but it did not come to a point where the savings or investments deteriorated
Mhm.
because of it. So there. And to begin with, just to follow your question, I took up engineering. Deviating from IT was already something that was different already. When I took up
Mhm.
IT, lahat ng mga kamag-anak, kaibigan, they were saying, bakit yan? Sayang yung board exam mo. Sayang, you should have stuck to what you were learning. And this is what I'll tell everyone right now. Mas sayang pag ginawa mo isang bagay na hindi mo gusto.
Mhm.
And the reason why I don't need to save up money to go on a vacation because I don't need to escape everything. I don't need to escape anything. A lot of people want to earn as much in their job so they can buy this or they can go there so they can escape. They can have at least 2 weeks of not thinking about work. Why not? Sa start pa lang, figure out and do something that you really love that you don't have to leave it. That you don't have to get burned out. Don't get me wrong, napapagod din ako pero iba yung well-rested ka, pero pagising mo pa lang, pagod ka na, versus the night before, pagod na pagod ka, pero you still want to go. That's, I think, the fundamental difference.
Nice. So, when you were starting, okay, when you left corporate, what year was this?
2010, I think, 2010,
2010.
2011. What?
So,
Ano na? A decade na. A
so
decade na.
since then, you've been running your own company now.
Unemployed. And,
Technically
uh,
unemployed, but I think the self-employed and then running your own company and basically building a personal brand. How has the journey been? It's almost 10 years now. So,
uh, I, ngayon ko lang nadidinig yung mga personal brand na yan, looking at it, how it has been in YouTube, etc. But when I started out, it wasn't something that I was conscious of it. It wasn't something that I was doing because of I wanted to build a personal brand. Eh. So just to backtrack also, 2007 pa lang, everyone from my office would talk to me, Marvin, ba't ikaw 6 months ka pa lang sa trabaho? Kami 5 years na mas malaki ipon mo sa amin. How do you do it? Teach us. So I would literally talk to people, lunch, dinner. I would sit down with them. And that should not happen. Why would your boss tell you his salary so that you can help them? That doesn't happen in a corporate setting. But the first person that I met, uh, while habang nagkikwento siya, sabi ko, it felt good eh. It felt good. It was just me sharing my ideas. And sabi ko, there's something there's something about this that uh, I'm just sharing the things that I know, the things that I'm doing. Pero why does it feel good? And why does that person parang come out feeling better after it? So there, as I did it, more and more people from the office started. So, ayun na, lunch, dinner, lunch. Nagsischedule na ako. So, at the back of my head also, okay to, nakatipid ako ng lunch. Nakatipid ako ng lunch. So, I would schedule it talaga na, okay, ikaw sa lunch, ikaw sa dinner. Then, after that, when, I think, a few years after that, I'm not sure if I quit my job already at that time. Pero the first ones that I met, kasi I moved also to HP. So when I moved to HP, some of my former office mates, some of them, oh, can you come here? Can you speak in front of a small crowd? Without anyone teaching me how to do public speaking, I don't know how to make my PowerPoints. I said yes because I just wanted to share it. And at that time, pala, my goal was basically I wanted to be financially free, but while I was doing it, I wanted to bring others along the way, and that was my driving force on why I just kept doing it. Isipin mo, pagod ka na sa trabaho mo, may ginagawa ka pang iba, then every time I would meet people, give them advice, nawawala yung pagod eh. Nawawala eh. So, when I quit my job, there were more and more invites to talk. There were more, ang dami. Then, suddenly you would get invites from ANC, and it was so different because I was 26 at that time. Normally, when you see people talk about the stock market in ANC, they're probably from a brokerage firm, from a mutual fund, and they're probably 40 years old. Eh. Ngayon na lang nakakita ka ng younger people, pero at that time, you barely wouldn't see people that in their 20s to have that kind of platform. Then, yun, as that started to increase, I would get invites to talk to in Abra, in Ilocos, yung mga places na malayo na it's not easily flyable, meaning Cebu, Davao is far eh, pero one plane ride lang yun eh. So yun, as I started to do that, sabi ko, I can't go to every place, but the best thing that I can do is to multiply myself and just write a book. So at least someone can get it in a national bookstore in whatever province they are in. So I wrote a book. Then as I started to write a book, nag-enjoy din ako. I'm not normally a writer. I like talking more. Joke pa sa mga tao, dati problema ko mag-start. Ngayon problema ko tumigil. I like communicating my ideas by talking, but writing for me is hard. Yung kaya ko sabihin in 15 minutes, it will take me a day to write it down. But I wrote. Then after that, parang nag-enjoy ako. I was able, I had a goal na to write 10 books in 10 years. That was my goal. Then at the end of the 5th year, 2017 yata yun, things got busy. I wasn't able to write anymore. So there. Then after that, Facebook started doing Facebook Live. So I said I'll try it. So siguro just to answer, this is a very, very long answer, but I just wanted my thoughts to be communicated, and I just went where I know people wanted to consume it. So whether be in book form, I also had a blog. Until now, the blog is still there pa naman. Then Facebook Live. Then when I started to see, mas gusto ko yata sa YouTube. Then 2018, I started posting the videos there. So it's really just, I wanted to share my ideas, and then ayun, whatever people call it brand, it wasn't something that I would consciously do na I'm gonna do this because it's gonna be a brand someday. So it wasn't something that I was conscious of.
So all throughout this journey, you became a speaker, you wrote a book, but before any of that, like you didn't have like prior experience speaking, diba? Like the first time somebody invited you, it's not like you've already had like a few talks, diba? Parang under your belt. The same thing with the book. Like how did you approach that? Like when you said I want to write a book, like did you approach a big publisher, or did you just do it on your own?
We set up our own publishing company. So everything has been done via the publishing house that we set up already. So kasi I've had a lot of friends also. So they said that if you are entrepreneurial naman, you set it up on your own. If you just want to be an author, then give it to a publishing house. Then tinanong ko ano pros and cons. If you are an author and then you go to a publishing house, the publishing house will take on the risk. They'll fund everything. Sabi ko, I'm a risk taker naman eh, so I'll take all of the risk na lang. That's me eh. So, and I didn't know naman that I would what would be what would I write more books also in the future. So I just wanted to finish the first one to 2013. So there, we started our own. Dun sa talks, ganun din. I just kept saying yes to everyone who invited me. That's it. Cause I really liked it eh. So I said yes. Then pagka yes ko, wala pa akong clicker nun ah. Kailangan ko yata ng clicker. Kailangan ko ya I need to learn how to make slides. So if you would see my first slides, or up until now, that's what I normally do. It's not the same as the conventional slides on how people would do it. But madami na I've been to a lot of conferences. A lot of people are doing that already. But one of my idols kasi in presentations is Steve Jobs. Si Steve Jobs, simple lang, picture. Tas walang text. I barely have any text in whatever presentation that I would have. So ganun. That's how I did it. I just said yes to every opportunity and then tried to figure it out along the way.
Nice. What do you think? What do you think distinguishes you from other people in finance or in stocks? Like, why do you think? Why do you think your content or the way that you communicate your ideas? So why do you think that resonates with your audience?
Mm, uh yung why it resonates with the audience, I think the audience should answer that. It's not me. What sets me apart from others, I also don't know. But here's one thing that I do. And number one, I don't compare myself with other people. I only focus on what I'm supposed to do. So if this is where I need to go, because I've been telling this to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who have started doing YouTube, and ganito. If you see someone who has a better channel than you, either two things will happen. Mainggit ka, or
Mm-hmm.
parang you look at yourself lesser. Or if you are doing better than someone else, yayabang ka. So I try as much as, syempre tao kayo na minsan mapapaisip ka. When we were talking kanina about, you said I have a big channel at the back of my head. The friends that I ask advice from sa YouTube, Carlo Ople, Chinkitan, they have 600, 700,000 subscribers. So parang, well, thank you for saying that I have a large already. But yun eh, tao ka mapapaisip ka, what are they doing that's amazing? Pero if you look at it that way and you compare yourself to other people, that's the very start. That's the tipping point of you losing already. You just focus on what you're supposed to do. Kasi another thing is, if you compare yourself with other people, and layo nila, chances are also magmamadali ka. And if there's one thing that I know, every time you try to rush things, that's where mistakes will happen. The fastest way to get to your destination is to do it slow. The fastest way to get rich is also to do it slow. People need to love the process, because when you love the process, you gain the skills for it. When you gain the skill, also come in. But that won't happen if you're not loving the process. You're not doing the grind. You're not doing the grind. You're not taking part of it. So I guess it's nice to see what's happening to others. Never ever compare, because it it places a pressure that you don't need to have also. And second is to just ignore the crowd, to not mind what people that I do not know, that are not part of my circle, whatever they say. If it's positive, dadaan lang. If it's negative, dadaan lang. The reason why I'm saying that is, madami mga tao nag-start ng YouTube, while they were doing the videos, may nag-comment, ang taba mo naman, tigil mo na yung YouTube. And then they get demoralized. They get sad.
The advice that you just gave is actually very powerful. And I think that's one of the things that's been challenging, I think, in this age of social media, where you can see literally what everyone else is doing, and I think it's becoming a big barrier for a lot of people, because the tendency to compare and see, why is this person so much ahead of me, and what you said is good, so in a way, it's like you can compare somebody else's chapter 20 to your chapter 2, parang ganun, diba? Where you are now, it's different for everyone. So like yung ganyang mindset, was that something that you've always had in you, or is it something that you had to cultivate also, throughout the years?
Hmm. I don't know. I wasn't conscious if it was a switch that was turned on, no. Pero I don't know. Siguro it's been like that na I don't know. When I was studying, hindi ko pa naman siya iniisip. Siguro this became, I guess, more important or something that has been more relevant to me when I started working already. And I guess dun din naman mas nag-matter yun kasi when I was younger, all I did was I played basketball, played computer games, I would study hard. But yun, one main difference about now and before was when I was younger, yun din, I wanted to perform better in school kasi thinking that if I fail, if I make a mistake, it won't be as good. But what I realize is now I like to fail because
Mm.
the more you fail, it allows you to get better. It's a pivot Meaning not essentially that I intentionally want to fail, no. But if I fail, I don't let that define me. I don't let that be something that will cause me na wala na, I failed, I made a mistake. This is the end of me. But for me, I see it as how can I make it better? How can I fight for this if it's worth fighting for, or if it's not worth fighting for, not worth innovating already? What can I learn from this? And it will lead me to the next thing. This is what people need to know. If you fail in one thing, it could be the thing that could lead to the thing that you will eventually be doing. No one bibihira yung mga tao that from the start pa lang the first thing that they ever did was so successful already and they never had any mistakes, or or na yun na talaga yung ginawa nila. There will always be speed bumps along the way that will detour you. And what differentiates people who are good, that transcend, are in the midst of that crisis they thrive. They're not trying to survive, but they're trying to thrive. Especially right now, this is an interesting time because this is where great entrepreneurs are born. This is where great investors are also born. It's easy to make money when the economy is good. But what do you do when the economy is bad, when there's crisis, will define how good you are also as an investor, how much mental toughness you have also when things are stacked up against you. What do you do? How do you pivot? How do you kunyari, I've had a lot of friends na I have a lot of friends na they're at a decision right now. Ano gagawin nila sa employees nila? Do they let go of them? What do they do? Etc. So they should let crisis allow them to get better, not bitter.
Nice. Speaking of failures, what's been the toughest adversity or failure that you've had to deal with in your business, and how did you deal with it? How did you overcome it?
That's hard. No, I don't have any. For me, I have a lot of mini failures. Yung opportunity loss, or even the stocks I should have sold earlier, or I should have bought this. I should have done that. I should have put more to this. But there wasn't any na sobrang laki that would have uh, hurt me financially. What I've learned through mga maling experiences ng family namin was I try to cover my base as much as possible. I try to store cash as much as possible. So even during this lockdown, um, I've been preparing for this for a very very long time already. I've been preparing cash to prepare for times like this. Then from the excess of that, yun na lang yung pang-invest ko, yun na lang yung pag-business ko, so that it gives me a buffer. So were there any mistakes na that could have floored me? Wala pa naman. Were there mistakes that have cost me money? Meron din. Pero since in investments I diversify well, I know I hedge. I also put in money that I always tell people this in any investment. That's why kahit Bitcoin nag-invest ako, yung dinalagay ko na pera doon, tanggap ko na magzi-zero siya. Zero
Mm.
na kagad iniisip ko. So, people, ganito, sa stock market, people always want to put, for example, may 1 million sila. They put 1 million kagad, thinking that pag dumoble to, 2 million na to. Pero yung 1 million yun, probably that's all they have. And the problem with that is, what if it doesn't go the way they wanted it to go? It becomes 700,000, it becomes 600,000. Ako, if my total cash is 1 million, I'll ask myself, what can I tolerate? What do I need? If the answer to that is only 50,000, the answer to that is only 100,000, I'm only gonna put 100. I'm the maximum that I will ever have, that should ever lose is zero. I will never borrow money for an investment, so that even if it loses, wala akong isipin at the back of my mind, nako, kailangan ko pa itong bayaran. So that's why I can do it. I guess I hedge. I think of every possible scenario, and the reason why I can go aggressive in some of my investments because I try to be as conservative in everything else.
So in this time, no, the economy is really gonna be a bloodbath going forward. No? What do you think are the things that entrepreneurs can do, or even just I think even employees, I guess, parang what can they do to sort of survive through this next few months and also eventually set themselves up for a more stable parang financial situation going forward.
That's a good question. They need to know first where they are. It's hard to really map out a plan without knowing nasan sila financially or nasan yung business din nila. So from knowing about where they are, that's where they can map out the solution. So for example, they see na uh, the own my cash, it will only last me 3 months if walang pumasok.
Mhm.
Then they make actions from that. That means that either they lessen their expenses so that it becomes longer, or they find ways and means on how they can make more money. So I just make an assumption that if that they want to earn more. So two things that I'll do. Number one, I'll try to look at opportunities during this lockdown because there will always be opportunities in every crisis. There's always an opportunity. I'll see where are the pain points, what are the things that I can address, and I'll try to build a business off of that. That's one. Or second, I'll look at what my current skills are, and do my skills do my skills address the needs, the pain points. Kasi kung hindi, baka baliwala yung skill ko. Pero kung may skill ako na it doesn't address the pain point pero may market, tapos magaling ako doon, ano naman siya, you get paid for the value that you give eh. So if
Mhm.
you're so skilled and gifted on that, regardless if it's a product or a service, and then people find value, you will still get paid. You will still have a business off of it. So this is what I want to tell you, that everything you need is already in your hands. Eh. You don't have to look anywhere else. Kasi alam mo na kung accountant ka, ano yung napagdaanan mo that led to where you are that you can use right now? Do you need to do a consulting practice? Do you need to teach accounting 101? Or dahil accountant ka, magaling ka mag-Excel? Do you create an online course about teaching people Excel 101 or how to make macros? So there are a lot of things already from your experience that you just have to find how you can address and help people. I have a friend, he's a wedding photographer, and ganun din. The wedding industry right now is
Mhm.
hit.
Yep.
So I told him, one of the things that you can do, madami kang stock photos, upload mo, people will buy that. It may not be a lot, pero that's passive income already. Every time you get a download that people pay for, you will get hits already off of that. So that's just one. That's just one idea. There are a lot of things. So another thing, worst comes to worst, no, photographer ka, 10 camera mo, benta mo na yung 5 para may papasok. At least may cash na papasok. At this point, if you're having problems in earning, don't think about profitability, think about liquidity, that you have enough cash to survive. Because if you survive this, when everything gets better, you will somehow things will turn around and you can come out running. So yun, try to raise as much cash as possible as a buffer for you to be able to withstand this. Kasi I was in Bloomberg kanina. I said that we don't know how long will this last eh. No one knows eh. The I was talking to a scientist from Harvard who's making the vaccine. Sabi nila 1 year pa. So if this drags on for 1 year and then you don't have revenue, you need to find ways on how you can pivot. Should it be a year? Pero another variable. Everyone's talking about the lockdown. But if the lockdown lifts on May 15, do you think people will go to movie houses? Do you think
Yeah.
people will go to malls? Do you think
Mhm.
people will eat out in a restaurant na may katabi siya? Not the back of his head also. The person is thinking na, what if yung nagsiserve sa akin?
Mhm.
Baka carrier siya. So I don't think life will go back to normal eh. So very, very important is to raise cash by either by selling something that you have or generating new ones from a product or a service, so that while all of this is going on, you have a buffer to keep you afloat. And also, if you have that buffer, it allows you to think about what's your next move. So if you have, say, a 4 month buffer, you have 4 months to formulate something, so you get to pivot also.
I think what's interesting also was the first few weeks of the lockdown. I think a lot of people they might have ideas now what to do or how they can raise cash. But I think their main concern was, is it the right time to be selling, di ba? To be charging people for something. But I think over the past siguro 3 weeks, mas naging, I guess, mas bumaba na yung ganung concern na parang everyone's more open again to look. If you have a service to sell, just offer it. If somebody has a need for it, they'll go and pay for it, di ba?
And
So
it's
so
kasi
yeah,
kasi
I mean, so what you're saying is actually right on point with that. Yun lang yung nakita kong initial na concerns with a lot of the like even mga wedding suppliers and people with skills that they can offer to people. Parang may hiya factor lang nung una, 'di ba? Nung kaka-lockdown lang natin. But I think now parang medyo it's becoming a bit normal, I guess, to restart your business.
I have a comment on that. There's a way naman din kasi for people to know about what you have without even selling to them, eh. And that's why social media is so interesting na sometimes you don't even have to for example, you sell shirts, no?
Yeah, we have a few apparel also for some of our
Yeah.
brands.
So shirts, apparel. So for example, uh I'll- what's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Basketball. So for example, kunyari your favorite what's your favorite team?
I don't really have a favorite team. Yeah, I support LeBron now, but
Uh,
walang particular team.
Lakers. Okay,
Um,
so for
yeah.
example, LeBron. So for example, LeBron makes a tweet. You reply to it, and then other people will say, "Oy, si Kendrick LeBron fan." So they start looking at you. Oy, he has this apparel that he's also selling. So there are things that can be done in social media that you don't actually have to sell. Eh. But
Mhm.
those things also, it's not get rich quick. Eh.
Correct.
It's something you also cultivate. Even since we're talking about podcasts and YouTube, I keep telling people you don't have to make a YouTube channel or a podcast that is directed to what you're selling. It doesn't have to be that way. Eh. It can be na, for example, I've been playing a lot of StarCraft this lockdown. So, medyo old school, but I've been playing a lot of StarCraft. It can be you just making a video about StarCraft. Then, sobrang galing mo, people start watching. Then, they will find out, uy, si Marvin pala nagsa-stocks pala yan. He has books.
Mhm.
I'll buy from his books na lang kasi I want to learn about stocks. Eh. So there's so much. I guess the key word there is at least you get a piece of that attention, because when you get a piece of the attention, people will find out also what your business is. Eh. People will find out what you're also doing. When people find out what you're doing, then you don't actually have to sell. They will
Correct.
buy.
Correct.
So I'm not very good at sales, but what I do know is if there's something very very important or something that will contribute to people to make them better, huwag ka rin mahiya. Pero wag rin yung hard, I don't like hard, yung mga hard sell na pag binili mo to magbabago buhay mo, pag this opportunity only happens now. If you don't get it now, you're gonna miss out on this opportunity. I get turned off by that. Eh. So ganun din ako. I don't do anything like that as well.
Nice. Who do you look up to in your field?
Three: Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, Ray Dalio.
Nice. If you given a chance to have a one-on-one mentoring session by just one of those three, who would you choose and why?
Warren Buffett, siya pinakamayaman. So Warren Buffett, then he's just good eh. And the interesting thing about him is it's all of the things that he does. It's not really rocket science. It's all discipline. Eh. Biro mo right now when everything is crashing, Berkshire Hathaway has a record number of cash right now.
Mhm.
Cash.
Yeah.
They're not even buying even though the market has crashed already. They have the discipline to buy when it only makes sense to them. So yun. There's so many things that you can learn from why they how they became successful. And ako, siguro I'll have so many questions like I don't know if you know this. Warren Buffett drinks Coke every day pero 89
Yep.
years old na siya, buhay pa siya. People say Coke is bad for you, pero bakit buhay ka pa? So like that also that are so interesting.
Um, do you ever experience self-doubt? You seem like a very confident guy, though. Like when people see you on YouTube, I think people would be surprised if you say that, you also deal with self-doubt or parang
What
negative
what what
self-doubt.
what what's self doubt means? Can you expound the
Uh,
context?
there's different forms, or parang there's this form that's called imposter syndrome, na parang you feel like the success you have, you don't really deserve. Parang like there's that sort of parang a little doubt or uncertainty, uh na maybe you just got lucky, or you're not as good as people think you are. Do you ever experience something like that?
Okay. There's a lot of answers to that. Number one, I I really don't ano eh. I try as much as possible. When you think like that, it means the other people's opinions weigh more to you.
Mm-hmm.
That parang you're thinking, ano inisip na ibang tao sa akin? Baka they might think that you're not qualified for this. So again, it's you thinking about people's perceptions of you than you knowing yourself more. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's one key thing that I want to tell people is uh stop stop giving a large weight on other people's opinions about you, because at the end of the day, they're not responsible for your life. You're responsible for your life. And second is, uh not to sound preachy or anything, but my I get my identity from God. Eh. That's basically it. Eh. So it's not wrapped up from what's on the outside going in. It's wrapped up from the inside going out. Eh. That when God says you're successful, you have a great purpose, you have a great plan. There's amazing things happening. People could say to you, "Bobo ka," but if you know your identity is not wrapped up on what that person says, but what God says about you, that can give you all of the confidence in the world. And that's why even right now, I'm saying this, may ipon ako, but my trust is not in my savings and my investments. My trust is in that because God is in control, everything will turn out well in my finances and in my business also. And that's what gives me the peace of mind regardless of what's happening. So if you're asking me, do I have self doubt? If I'll just base it on myself, my confidence is not on myself. My confidence is because I know that there is someone who is helping me that's bigger than me.
Mm, that's a very good answer. So in a way, I think, because I think it's a bit common for people to second guess themselves, siguro, diba? Like when you said, like when you have micro failures here and there. uh I think that's been a common theme, at least with all the other entrepreneurs that I've spoken to, diba? It's quite common to second guess yourself, but at the end of the day, it's learning how to use that, kumbaga, self doubt, or when you second guess yourself, when you question yourself, you use that and turn it into a positive, diba? Sort of like just to check that maybe you haven't done your homework fully this time. So what are the
Mm.
things that you miss? So I like your answer, because it's quite different, eh, and I think it's a different perspective also. Na it's trusting a higher power. Na as long as you're doing what you need to do, things will fall into place, diba? Parang ganun.
And don't get me wrong, dadating since tao rin tayo, there are some points na matatakot tayo eh. But faith is not you not being scared eh. Faith is you pushing forward in the midst of you being scared. Meaning, nakakatakot pero tatalon ka pa rin. Fear when fear is there and then you let fear rule over you, hindi ka tatalon. But faith is when you're so scared, you still make that jump
Mm.
regardless of there's fear around. So that's the best answer I could
That,
give you.
and that's really the best answer to hear now, because I think there's a lot of fear in everyone's minds and heart at this time, diba? So I think that's really good for them to hear. let's switch gears a little bit. In terms of your, like, I know a lot of people reach out to you for advice, you know. What's the most common question that you get from your audience or people following you and asking you for advice?
Top one, anong
Yeah.
magandang stock na bilhin bukas? That's the number one question. Or pwede ko na ba to ibenta, or ilan stocks yung pwede bilhin, or ano yung insight mo dito sa company na to? Mostly. Tas 'di ba Facebook, there's an automated button already there na, can you
Mm.
tell me more about yourself? But yeah, if I'll rank everything for the past 10 years, it's mostly anong stock maganda bilhin bukas.
Has there ever been a time that somebody, like, you gave an answer to that question and then that person went out and did that and then came back to you and
uh,
said, nag-work nga
I
parang
this is what I do. I never sige, so you get the context of it. When you buy a stock, it's not about the stock that you buy. It's about the rules and the parameters on why you're buying that stock. Kasi, eto pa, if I say it on YouTube, buy Globe, example, I posted it today, napanood mo siya 5 days later, that alone pa lang will have a different effect already on how it is eh. Another thing that you need to look at is, if I say, for example, buy PLDT, you that's only one side of it eh. Why? You need to know also, ilang shares bibiliin ko, ilang percent
mm,
ng portfolio ko lalagay ko doon, how many companies do I need to buy as a whole, how do I diversify it properly, if I buy it now, at what price will I sell it, and then if at what price will I also sell it at a loss if it doesn't go my way. So that's why I've been advocating, it's never about the stock that you're buying. It's always about the parameters behind why you are buying that stock altogether. So to answer your question, I'm not sure if I've ever answered it. Siguro there might be some, but I'm a person that I don't want to give you fish. I want to teach you how to fish so that you can do it on your own.
so
And
don't,
and I'm not the type of person na I don't want to be the expert. I don't want to be the guru. That's not me. I if you are an expert and you are a guru, people will rely on you. The reason why I make the videos on the channel is so that it comes to a point that when you know enough, you don't have to rely on me anymore. And that's the goal. I'm not doing it naman for me to be popular. I'm not doing it for me to be the expert. I'm doing it because, number one, I like it, and number two, I know it's helping people. That's basically it.
I
And
like it.
and I guess a tip for people who like to do YouTube, some are doing it because ngayon they're seeing that it's something that's monetizable. But
Mm.
what they don't know, it's very, 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 very hard. And if you're just doing it for the money, by video 85 and things are not going your way, you're gonna stop.
Yeah.
There has to be a greater motivator than money, because if you're just after money, when things get hard, you will stop it. So yun, people need to know this, that money should just be a byproduct. Uh it should just be something that you get as an end result of either how good you are, the value that you create, or how much you've also worked hard. I'm not saying na hindi maganda na target yun, pero kung yun lang yung habol mo,
Yeah,
when things get hard, you will stop.
for sure.
So when people do it just for, it's monetizable, magkano makita dyan? They don't know it. There's no shortcut in everything. It won't always be easy. That's why they have to like what they're doing, and then they have to love the process, and they have to be there, not because pera lang yung habol nila.
Nice. I really love the nuance of that answer. Na parang it's not as simple as, yeah. I guess when for tips like that, kasi it's almost like a get rich thing, di ba? Na parang just tell me the shortcut, just tell me the magic answer, and then by tomorrow I'm swimming in cash. Parang ganun di ba? Uh, how about, like, what's the weirdest question you've ever gotten about, like, stocks or ano?
I'll never forget this because I kept a screenshot of it. But uh, sobrang taba ko kasi dati. I think 2017, I weighed 165. My waistline was 34. So, after 9 months, pumayat ako. It was a serious question na, ano yung ginawa mo to look younger? Baka pwedeng you can talk about that also. So yun.
Well, I guess we're not gonna see that type of content in your channel. um, okay, like because of the lockdown, I'm sure things are a bit different. But on a normal day, like what's your typical day like?
Hmm. Uh, Twofold, no? I travel a lot eh. So, when I travel, syempre iba yung schedule ko nun. So, because there's a lockdown, essentially there's no travel. So, if I don't travel naman and I'm here in Manila, tapos there's no need for me to go out, this is my normal life. And then, I don't go out eh. Kung kailangan lang kumain sa labas, I would kasi I don't cook. But, 2 months na, wala, parang I don't feel deprived. I don't feel na parang kailangan ko na lumabas, kailangan ko nang gawin to. Wala. So for me, as long as may internet,
Mm.
I'm okay eh. And then siguro if there was something that changed, when the lockdown started, the stock market was closed for 2 days. So sabi ko, hala, anong gagawin ko? But other than that, there's no my wife wakes me up eh. She prepares breakfast. So dun nagsa-start yung araw ko when we eat breakfast. Then I drink my coffee. Then I go on with my day. And that part I go on with my day, it's different depending on what I need to do. So people ask, paano ko nagagawa yung videos? The secret there is this. Number one, since I analyze my stocks every day, sinasabay ko na lang din yung video doon. Instead na wala akong kinakausap, I analyze this, kinakausap ko na lang din yung camera. So, I get to do it faster and twofold. So, parang ganun.
And then who do you have a team that edits your videos, your content online, or is it something that you do on your own?
Okay. If you watched my videos when I started out, sige, backtrack. 2016, Facebook had Facebook Live. Sorry, I'll backtrack even further para at least you know the history of my YouTube channel. All of my TV interviews before, I would rip them, then I would put them in my YouTube channel. So, 100 plus interviews, different TV stations were in my YouTube. Then Facebook, 2016 had Facebook Live. Then I would rip that also, then put that in YouTube. So, there, raw lahat yun, walang edits lahat yun. Then 2018, we went to Iceland. So, sabi ko, to take the northern lights, it needs a special camera. So sabi ko, if I'm gonna buy a special camera, you might as well buy something that can help me make videos. So
Mm.
that's where I started making vlogs on YouTube. But when I started out, I treated it like Facebook Live also. As in, walang edit. Walang edit, upload. Walang edit, upload. Walang edit, upload. Upload, upload, upload. Then, yung problem dun is this. If you don't edit it, so sasalita ka, 2 minutes. We're now here talking about the stock market, etc. And nagkamali ka. Since walang edit, I'll repeat it from the start. Sabi ko, I can't do this. This is too hard. I needed to learn how to edit. Then while I was editing, sabi ko, try ko kaya, lagyan ko ng logo. Or try ko kaya if I'm talking about Jollibee, I'll put the chart of Jollibee or the logo of Jollibee. Try ko kaya lagyan ng sound. Then yun, I started to edit. Then suddenly there were companies na coming. I'll give you an example. Megawide. We're opening Mactan Airport. Since you're flying already, we can show you around on how Mactan Airport would look like. Hindi mo naman magagawa, naka-roll lang lahat yung camera the whole time. So, puro cut-cut yun. So, natuto talaga mag-edit. Then, dumating sa point na I can't do it by myself. So, I got editors also. Pero I still edit now. So, kung yung video hindi polished, ako nag-edit nun. Kung yung video na mas polished, editors would do it. So, what's nice about that is I was able to build a new skill also. And I like challenging myself. That's why, yun pala. The reason why I like doing YouTube, because it's challenging, it's hard. It's super, super hard. And, it challenged me to try paano ko to gagawin, anong gagawin ko to be able to at least somehow get traction on this. So I tried to learn, I tried to do it. How do I make my videos? And then you as you start doing it, you figure out also what videos people would like. Dati mga videos ko may mga ano pa yan, may mga cinematic ano pa, kunyari Iceland for example, may backdrop pa muna bago ako magsasalita. Ngayon na-realize ko the people who watch the videos don't care eh. Minsan nasa pader lang ako na puti, walang audio, walang anything, but they will watch it because that's my audience, and that's something that you will learn through time also. So there.
What
Long answer again.
speaking of gear, diba, you mentioned you bought like cameras now when you started producing your vlogs. What's the best investment you've made in terms of equipment muna, and then later on, what's the best stock investment you've ever made?
Equipment? Syempre, the best answer will be your laptop, no? Kasi you can do more with a laptop than you can do more with just a camera or with just a phone. But you can shoot kasi with your phone. You can shoot also with a camera, but a laptop can do more things than you can edit from it. You can make videos from it, like what we're doing now. It depends lang on the type of videos that you're using. So I use two cameras. Then I also use my phone, but because of the lockdown, I haven't used any of them. I'm just using my laptop right now. For stocks, no, madaming yun. Foreign stocks also. I'm investing in US and Singapore markets. So there were a lot of tech stocks that did well. But in the Philippine markets also, yung mga nag-crash noong 2008, I was able to dabble in yung mga big names nun, from Ayala to Jollibee. Naabutan ko sila when they were lower. So it's also true that if you buy a good company when they're down, just give it a certain period of time, it's gonna go back up because the company is good, the leadership is good, and here's what people don't need to know also. Majority of the money in the Philippines are foreign investors. And what they normally do is this. Kung ano yung binili nila dati, yun din yung bibili nila ulit. So if they bought Ayala Land before, they sold Ayala Land down. When they start coming back in, they will just buy the same stocks. And it's just supply and demand. So if they buy it back again, more buyers bring the prices up. It would go back also again. So yun, they won't buy a small company because they have a large fund. They won't be able to buy something that's small, and they won't buy something that they don't know. They will always come back to a company that they already know already. So
There's your stock tip for the day for all the listeners. Okay, we're heading towards the latter part of the show. There's three questions that I always ask all the guests. So this all pertains to legacy. So the first of the three questions is, knowing everything that you know now, if you went back in time to, let's say, when you first decided to leave corporate and really pursue this career as a stock trader and influencer and personal brand, if you went back to that time, let's say 2010 and you had just a minute to talk to Marvin from that time, what would you say to yourself?
Buy this stock right now. So I would, if I have a chance to go back, syempre alam ko yung mga stock prices nila at current, no. I would make a playbook. Dito benta mo siya ng ganitong time. Ito yung bilhin mo, buy more of that. Don't buy this, ganyan. So if it's from a monetary I would do that. Pero if you're asking if there are things that I would want to change also, maybe not, kasi if you change something also, it somehow will tweak also who you are also, kasi who you are is a sum of lahat din ng mga pinagdaanan mo eh. So for example, I have a friend na nabully siya nung elementary siya. Ngayon in corporate, he can stand up to anyone kasi he got all of those beatings when he was younger. So sabi ko, would you have transferred schools given the chance? Sabi niya hindi kasi right now I can the only reason that I get to do what I do right now was because of what I experienced in the past. So if there's one thing, I'll give myself stock picks. I'll go back to a certain point in time in the 1990 financial crash, 1997 financial crash, and then I'll enumerate these things. Tapos wag mo muna bilhin ng 97 na, bili mo pagkabagsak. Then, yun. Then, bibenta natin ng 2007 yan. Then, balik ulit tayo 2009. Ganun. I'll make a playbook on what I'm supposed to do. So,
Right, that's very practical. um, okay, second question. What else are you looking to accomplish over the next 10 years?
this gets asked all the time, no? Pero it might sound wala akong masyado pangarap, pero I'm okay. I'm content. Pero it does not mean na wala na akong ibang mga targets. So for example, each year I set aside na sana sa stocks I earn this much. Sana sa business we grow by this much. Sana sa YouTube I get this number of videos that I make. I get this number of subscribers also. There are many goals, pero if there's something na balang araw magiging ganito ko, parang siguro it's a blessing that yung what people want to be. Ako wala na akong hinahanap na ganun kasi I like what I'm currently doing right now. People might say na wala ka ng ibang pangarap, pero I like it. And siguro if there's one thing, I just like to travel more, and hindi ako in I just like to eat what I like. I just like to drink coffee every day. Then I just like to travel. That's basically it. But if you're asking, will there be any career shift? I maybe not. Kasi I'll tell you this: even if I have 100 billion pesos right now, I'll still I'll still invest in the market. I'll still make YouTube. I'll still write a book. I'll still do talks because everything that I'm doing right now, it's not money's not the primary motivator for it. I really like it. So and that's the gauge. If you love what you do, given that if you have infinite amounts of money, will you still do what you're doing right now?
Mhm.
Because if the answer is no, then you have to find something that
Yep.
you're doing.
Mhm.
So there, I guess I'll sasabihin ng mga viewers mo, wala siyang pangarap sa buhay, but I'll be doing whatever I'm doing right now. Yun pa rin yung gagawin ko. But hopefully by that time, if there's a mini goal, I want to make 10,000 videos in YouTube. That's a mini goal.
Nice. I think on the contrary, I think people would appreciate hearing that kasi that's really what life is all about, diba? Parang finding why you were born, why you were put on this earth, what you were put on this earth to do or to be, diba? And how you can serve your fellow man. So I think because you found it, that's why there's a sense of contentment when you answer that question. But it's not like you're not doing anything. It's really just you already know what you want to do and you're already doing it, diba? So I think that's different. I think it's very different from somebody who doesn't have any aspirations or more aspiration, diba? So before I ask the final question, I just wanted to acknowledge you again for the work that you do for helping I guess raise the financial literacy then of Filipinos and even business owners about who want to learn how to better manage their cash to grow their money. I just want to acknowledge you for that because of how you're doing it also. Now it really comes across as very nuanced and it's not just the may entertainment aspect also because of how engaging you are, but the nuance to it and I think this interview really just emphasizes that even more. So yeah,
Can I say something on top of that also? This was not mentioned when we started, but one of the reasons why I do what I do, kasi there was a point where my my family did the business and they lost everything.
mm,
And the reason why I want to help other people so that yung napagdaanan nila, it doesn't happen to other people out there also. So if I can help more people get out from that scenario, kasi it's tough it's tough to be in that scenario. So the more people that I can take out from that, uh the better. That's one. And number two, I really believe that there's so much opportunity around, but because people uh it, uh, context, lahat ng tao nagrereklamo sa politics. Pero iba yung pwede kang magreklamo kasi sa may ginagawa ka also. Kasi kahit sino yung presidente, kung tamad ka, nothing will happen eh. Nothing will happen. And I keep telling people this, that no matter how bad the economy is, but if you work hard, good economy, bad economy, you will thrive eh. And that's the reason why I keep doing it. And lastly, why I like doing this, I really believe it's time for good people to have the money, because when good people have the money, they know what to do with it eh. That sila yung namimigay ng PPE, sila yung you can only give what you have eh. So if you don't have extra, ano pamibigay mo? And it's time that money gets redistributed to people who know what to do with it, that they know they have a purpose on where the money will actually go to as well. So yun, those are the things that siguro if you're asking me, you asked me kanina, why will I do this later on still? Because I don't know 5 years from now if all of the things that I mentioned will be already addressed by that time. When I started investing in the market, there were less than 1 million Filipinos investing. And it's been more than 10 years already. We just hit a million. We just hit a million accounts in the market out of a population of 110. So that's slow. Sabi ko dati, tweet ko pa yung dating PSE CEO. Sabi ko, I want to have 10 million investors. Tweet ka 2014, in the next 5 years, 2020 na wala pa tayo. We're just at a million people mark. No? So there, those are siguro intangibles that make this thing na parang may pinaglalaban ka din.
Nice. So I think some of what you just said touches on this a little bit, but I still want to ask this last question. How do you, Marvin Germo, want to be remembered?
Okay. How do I want to be remembered? Hirap na. That's hard. How do I want to be remembered? I don't know. Nagmahal ako sa wife ko. Yun. I don't know. I think, no, if you're conscious about how you want to be remembered, you will try to live your life trying to perform in front of other people. For me, instead of trying to think about what will people think about you, try to focus on what you were born in this earth for, and then let other people write about what people will remember you from. Kasi it will also be multifaceted eh. There will be people who will see you as ang bait naman niya, namimigay siya. There will be people that will say that he gave of his time. Some people will say na, okay siya, stick to one. There will be there will be different facets of who you are. Siguro if there's one thing, that if there's one thing that I want to be, is that I fulfill. Siguro when we all, I would give this example all the time. I got this from you can research him. His name is Miles Monroe. Sabi niya, the richest place in earth is the graveyard, because there were a lot of people who died before their time. There were a lot of people who died with so much potential in it. So ako, I would want to, if everything ends, I want to come out without any potential anymore. Ibig sabihin, nagamit ko lahat ng kailangan ko gamitin. And that's something that I want, na I don't want to waste whatever talents and opportunities and skills that I have, that I use everything until pigang-piga na nagamit ko lahat.
Nice. I love that answer. And on that note, thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you for your time.
Thank you also. It's an honor to be part of your vlog.
Nice.
Podcast.
All right. Thank you so much, Marvin.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review the show on iTunes. It will help more people discover the show. You can also share a screen cap of the show on your social media accounts. Make sure to tag me and let me know which part of the episode you like or didn't like. All feedback is certainly welcome, so feel free to reach out to me on Instagram @KendrickCo to let me know what topics you'd like to be covered next and who you want to hear or learn from in future episodes. Until next time, do the work you want to see done, because life's too short to not be creating your life's work.